Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to estimate the fabric yardage for your garment production. So if you're just a newbie, I highly recommend that you subscribe to our channel because we will be producing a lot of content on starting your own garments or apparel business. So stay tuned and please just very quickly hit the like button. That will help us out a lot. So let's get on to the tutorial. So here we have a technical drawing of a t-shirt, which we will be measuring today. So um, first of all, you're gonna have to start with the different pieces. So the biggest piece is obviously the bodice, and then you have your sleeves over here. Okay, so to start off, you're going to measure the length of the bodice. So you start here at the corner of the shoulder and the neckline, and you measure all the way down. Okay, once you have that, you're going to see the measurement could be around 20 inches. So let's just say for now that the measurement is 20 inches. So that's your length. And you're also going to measure the width of your shirt there. And let's say your width is 19.5 inches. So you have that. And you're also going to need to ask, or you're going to need to add the side seam measurement. So the side seams where you attach the front to the back here, you're going to need to add an allowance for that, for sewing those two together. And we're going to go with just 0.25 inches or 1/4 inch, but it can go as big as 5/8 inch. So for, it's easier to use 0.25 right now. So that's what we're going to use, but you should add whatever sewing allowance you choose to use. And this is per side. So one here and one here. So that's going to be a total of 1/2 inch for your sewing allowances. And for the length, you're also going to need to add some sewing allowances. So here in the shoulder area, you're going to be sewing this part to the back. So you're going to need a sewing allowance here. And if you notice on the hem of your shirts, you'll see that there is a fold at the bottom. So you're going to need to add some allowance for that fold. So for the shoulder, it's usually just about 1/4 to 5/8 sewing allowance. And this in the bottom, it's around 1 inch to 1.25. So that's what we'll use. So for the hem, we'll use 1.25, and for the shoulder, we'll stick to 0.25 as well. So that's going to be a total of 21.5 for the length. Okay, so it's a lot of measuring. Yeah, you thought you're gonna get away from the math, but nope. Apparently in fashion, there's a lot of math. So anyway, so I'm gonna show you guys like what the pattern for a t-shirt would look like. So basically we're just going to remove the sleeves. So it's going to look a bit like this. So this is your bodice pattern. And now that you have your measurements, you're just going to check how they would fit into a yard. So here is the yard. So 1 yard of fabric is 36 inches in length. So that's this side over here. And the fabric width depends on the fabric that you're buying, but usually it's 45 to 60. For this example, we will assume that it is a 60 width fabric. So bringing up your bodice pattern, now that you know that this is 19.5 plus 0.25 per side, so that's 20. So your width is 20, so that you know that it's 1/3 of the width of the fabric. And you know that your length is 21.5. So that's roughly 2/3 of the fabric length. of the yard. So since you have, this is your front piece, since you have two sides of the shirt, you're going to have to multiply that by 2. So you have that here. So now you are at 2/3 of the length and 2/3 of the width. So, and then you have some space here left for your sleeves. So you know that your bodice is already 2/3 of the length and 2/3 of the width of a single yard of fabric. So if you're just gonna make a tank top, then this is good. You already know how much fabric you need. But if you are going to make a shirt, you're gonna need the sleeves. So the sleeves, you're just gonna need to take the measurement like the same way. So you're gonna get the length. So the length is from the seam between the shoulder and the sleeve, just right here. There you go. So that's the red line, that's the length. And the width would be the widest part of the sleeve. So that's going to be around here, parallel to the hem. So over here, there. So it's going to be the biggest part of the sleeve. So obviously the sleeve is like a tube, right? So in order to get the flat version, you're just going to need to open up that tube. And it's going to look a bit like this. There. So that's what a sleeve looks like. The length is here in the middle, all the way down, and the width is here. That's the largest part. So we're going to need to get the sleeves, right? So let's say that the length of the sleeve is 8 inches. So you're going to need to have an allowance up here where you're going to attach it here to the armhole. So let's say that the armhole allowance is 1/4 inch or 0.25. And you're going to need to add another allowance here at the hem wherein you fold the sleeves inward to close it. So let's say that's around 0.75. So that's going to be a total of 9 inches. And the width is, let's say, 6 inches for the folded. So that's going to be 12 inches total. And you're going to need to add a sewing allowance here. This is where the sleeves will be attached. So that's 0.25%, and that's going to be a total of 12.5 inches width. So you're going to need to see if that will still fit in the yard that you have. So that's 12.5. And if you guys remember here, we have 20 inches here, 20 inches here, for a total of 40 inches already. And you still have 20 inches left for the sleeves here on this side. So the 12.5-inch sleeve can definitely still fit in there. There's a lot of extra space. And don't forget that you need 2 of these. So you can put another one down here. So you can see that the length is 9 inches. And if you guys remember, this was the length of the shirt was 21.5. So you can definitely still fit in 2 here. And you don't have to worry if you don't have the pieces of like what the pattern would look like. You just need the largest length and the largest width. So you could work with boxes essentially. So let's say you don't have any of these pattern pieces and you don't know how to make the patterns, you don't know what they look like. You can just use the length and the width. So let's get the length, which is 21.5 and 20. So the length is 21.5 and 20. Okay, that's good enough. There. So there you have it. That's what it looks like. And then you just duplicate that. You have 2 of it. And then you're going to get your sleeve, right? So what's the measurement of the sleeve? The length is 8 point, no, the length is 9 by 12.5. Okay. 9 height, 9 by 12.5. Oh, there. So you have 9, oh, you have 9 by 12.5, and this is what it should look like. There, it's actually pretty similar to what we had earlier. And that's how you know how much fabric you're gonna need. So for this style and these measurements, the size specifically, you're only going to need 2/3 of a yard with a 60-inch width. Now, obviously that will change if, it's like a different um, fabric width. So if it's 45, you're gonna have to move these down here. So let's say it's going to be, so let's pretend it's 45, right? So you already have 40 here. So it's going to be until here. You're going to have to move your pieces here. So you're going to need around 1 yard of the 45-inch width fabric to make that shirt. I hope you guys learned a lot from this. And if it was helpful, please just quickly press the like button and subscribe to our channel. We'll be producing more content on making your own clothing line.